This is the open Pacific Ocean, and that's where we are going.
We're on our way north. On board our Cape George Cutter 36 is my husband Aladino and myself, Maya. After a 5-year complete refit to our boat, we are finally out sailing, about to explore one of the most wild and beautiful coastlines on Earth. Join us for the Northern Voyage.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Look how fresh and clean. Clean hair for the first time in a long time. Clean shirt. New person. New adventures.
Sounds like it. Yeah, we've been trying to plan a bit this morning. Planning's always hard. Summer will be ticking away.
To give you a peek behind the curtain at our production schedule, this video was filmed in early August. We're not even that far north yet, and we can already feel the change in the weather. If we're going to get even farther north, we need to start moving a little quicker. So one morning, just before leaving the Broughton archipelago, we checked the charts and the weather patterns, and we planned the rest of the sailing season.
The big thing is that we really want to return down south via the west coast of Vancouver Island. That's going to bring us essentially into the open Pacific Ocean, and we're really keen to bring this boat out into the ocean. But planning a voyage like that, like planning any ocean voyage, requires some forethought and some timing, because ocean weather patterns change with the seasons, and if we want the favorable weather, then we kind of have to go in that time period. The unfortunate part, which seems to often be the case, is that the time period of the ocean weather systems doesn't entirely line up with our ideal time frame. So we're just weighing sort of our options and figuring out what to do. So do you want to brief us on the patterns?
Generally the situation is that in the summer months you have northwesterlies coming down the west coast of Vancouver Island. Late summer, say August and September, that pattern starts switching and southerlies start going up the west coast, which makes it more challenging because you have to beat into it, but also the swell situation changes a bit, as it can produce quite some waves. I've been looking at some historical data, and every year is just a little bit different. Sometimes that settles in August, sometimes September is still fine. So that's really the challenge. If you go by the books, I think people would suggest to do it in June or July. But the thing is, we don't want to be back in Vancouver early.
The problem is that to get the right weather window heading down the west coast, we really should begin the journey now, early August. But we don't feel like we've gone far enough north yet, and we're not ready to turn around. Heading down the west coast of Vancouver Island in the shoulder season of September is a bit of a gamble. We talked to one person who said he did it in September and it was the most magical trip of his life. Great weather and completely empty anchorages. But we talked to another boat who did it in September of a different year, and to quote them directly, they said, "We got our asses handed to us." So it's a bit of a gamble, but it's a gamble we're willing to take because we've only got 3 options. Turn south now and miss out on the entire central coast. Or keep going north, but then go back south via the protected inside passage again, missing out on the west coast. Or, third option, keep going north and hope that we have a favorable September for going down the west coast.
So I think we will head a little further north before starting the rounding, and then hopefully have the luxury of time on our side to wait out weather, because we will be doing it later in the season where theoretically it's not ideal anymore.
Obviously, we're choosing the third option.
A big interest of mine is to visit Ocean Falls, which is a semi-abandoned town on the BC coast. I say semi because there are still some residents there. There's a lot of abandoned buildings and a massive abandoned hotel. I would love to visit Ocean Falls, but that is further up the coast, and so if we are to get there, we kind of need to get there and turn around in order to make this west coast of Vancouver Island trip happen in still somewhat favorable conditions. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So some of the southerlies are already starting to show up, and we will use them to our advantage now heading towards Ocean Falls.
Yeah.
But exactly, fingers crossed for our southbound plans. For now, I think next few days work our ways towards Port Hardy for provisioning before we head north. Navigating through here is no joke. We're going through here, but luckily, or fingers crossed, these are accurate. The charts that we follow, and we go very slowly.
sounds these guys are making.
And smells.
And smells. It's wild. Listen to that.
Speaking of sea lions, we've been eating like very lucky sea lions the past few days on a diet of nearly exclusively salmon. Aladino caught that beautiful fish in the last episode, and we have been feasting.
I went a little all out on dinner tonight, but I think it's going to be amazing. This is a broccoli that I steamed with thin slices of whole lemon and dates on top of it as it was steaming. And the lemon and the dates almost like melt into it and create just this incredible like sweet and tangy sauce. This is a red cabbage slaw with green apple, lemon juice, honey, salt. That's it. White beans cooked in olive oil with a lot of garlic, cherry tomatoes, and then some salmon on top. And the rub is the same rub that I put on most of my seafood, which is smoked paprika, brown sugar, pepper. That's it. You put it on right at the end because otherwise the spices burn. So literally the last 30 seconds of cooking, sprinkle it over. All right, there we go. Go grab your plate, Aladino, and let's enjoy.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.
I'm really going to miss the Broughtons. It is such a fascinating archipelago on the edge of the sea, hundreds of islands, endless wildlife, and some tiny communities which we cannot wait to come back and explore. There is so much more here, but the call of the north sings through the still evening air, and we're going to answer it.
We are in Port Hardy. We just pulled in here and we were super lucky to get a spot at the Fisherman's Harbor. It's kind of funny actually, there's this breakwater, and in the breakwater it's really protected. It's an excellent harbor. But there's two separate marinas, and one marina is the most expensive we have seen on the Inside Passage so far, and the other marina is the least expensive, the most affordable we've seen on the Inside Passage thus far. So obviously we wanted a spot at the cheaper marina, but so does everybody else. So we got the very last spot. We were very happy. So It's $1 a foot. So it works out to be with tax about 44 bucks a night for us, which is amazing. That's such a good deal.
It's often close to double.
Yeah,
it
because
fluctuates.
$2 a foot is even a good deal.
But roughly, let's just to like give you a bit of perspective if
Yeah.
you're not from around here. Look at that shark bite.
What are we about to go do?
We're about to go check out Port Hardy. There is indeed mostly fishing boats here. I've been studying them a bit. Who does what? How are they specialized? What makes a fishing boat a certain type of fishing boat? I'm very interested always in that. There is also lots of sports fishermen, and I've been mighty jealous. They've been coming back all with salmon and lingcod, but it's an addiction. Yeah, I have to get some more fish.
But I guess I better get on back before something goes wrong. Well, there's nothing like a breeze on a hot submarine, don't you know? But I guess I better get on back before something goes wrong. Well, I was walking down the street, saw a bird flying over my head. I said, you better not shit on the shoulder, or I'll shoot you dead. Well, there's nothing like a morning before the sun comes up on red. While we drank a pot of coffee off the stove after her sweet kiss. Said there's nothing like a morning before the sun comes up on red. While we drank a pot of coffee off the stove after her sweet kiss.
Port Hardy is the end of the road. Beyond here, there's just wild coastline. The island highway terminates here, its northernmost point, before disappearing into mazes of logging roads accessible only to 4x4 vehicles. The town itself is rugged. The town motto makes no pretenses. It's a resource-based town, and since resource extraction is struggling, the town maybe seems to be struggling a bit too. We didn't stay here long enough to be able to say much more about it. Like with most places, there's some really good and beautiful things here. There's also some hard things here. For us, all that really mattered is that they had a very well-stocked grocery store, which we won't encounter again for another several weeks.
Said I was walking down the street, walking down the street, walking down the street. Well, I was walking down the street, walking down the street, walking down the street.
Aladino. Port Hardy impressions.
We did find a fun pub with a really good view, and it looks like there's some great provisioning opportunities, and well, that's really what it is for us when we do go into harbors.
Pub and provisioning.
Yeah,
The two P's.
for us being in a harbor means, yeah, a more relaxed sleep, for sure. Even though sleeping has been great so far, our anchor is working amazing, and there's so many bays to tuck into. But in general, just when you're tied on the dock, there is not even the hint of the thought of like keeping one ear open. But on the other side, it means work and laundry and provisioning. So yeah, but it's always neat to stretch your legs, go for a walk. Yeah, but can't wait to get out there again and see the remote beauty of some anchorages in the wild.
So one of the most difficult things we've actually found about sailing here is that good provisioning stops are pretty few and far between. And by good, I mean places that actually have selection at decent prices. There are like little general stores along the way, but selection's usually pretty small and prices are through the roof.
Yeah.
The second thing that the Inside Passage is not great with is garbage. It's been really hard to get rid of garbage. Like, we literally went a month without getting rid of it because some of these smaller outposts will charge literally $2 a pound to get rid of your garbage. And I get why, right? Like,
No,
they're remote,
absolutely.
it makes
Yeah.
sense. But it's,
Yeah, same with the prices in some places. Like, it makes sense of why they are that price.
Oh,
Somebody has to
totally.
bring them in.
So when we do a big grocery shop, we bring it all back to the boat, and then if we're at a harbor that has garbage disposal, which they do here, we get rid of literally all extra packaging and leave it behind, because as soon as we bring it with us on the boat, it's going to become...
It's going to stay with us for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wash all of our vegetables as soon as we get onto the boat, because now we kind of have unlimited water. There's a hose on the dock, so we can easily replenish the tank, but we try to be as, obviously, conservative with water as possible when we're out there. Especially, like, parsley, leafy greens, I found the absolute best way to store these is wrapped in a slightly damp tea towel and put in the fridge. For context, we bought this parsley about 10 days ago, and it's still really good because it was wrapped in the tea towel.
Our passage has started. I feel like we've been through the adventure already whenever I have to dress up in my foulies and my merino bottom layers. I deserve a cookie and some rest. But the adventure is just ahead of us. So here we go, leaving Port Hardy.
We're moving north, and it feels good. We're about to head into one of the more interesting parts of the Inside Passage. Interesting primarily because it's not inside. Cape Caution lies ahead of us, the only truly exposed piece of the Inside Passage, which otherwise can take you safely up to Alaska, shielded from the whims of the Pacific Ocean. But Cape Caution, aptly named, lies with its western face exposed to the wild seas. The closest land to the west beyond the horizon is Japan. It'll be the first time we take Magic Carpet truly into what feels like the open sea, and we cannot wait. Northwards, ocean-bound, the rounding of Cape Caution, the discovery of more rugged shorelines, a landscape shaped by wild winds and winter storms. But that, of course, is for the next episode. As always, the next chapter in this story will unfold next Friday. We cannot wait. Trust me, it just kept getting better and better as we were going up the coast. I mean, it's just, what a place. What a place. Huge thank you for being here and watching. If you liked this video, please, please, please do leave us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, write us a comment. We read all of the comments and we are so appreciative of them. A huge thank you to the folks whose names are now appearing on screen for always going above and beyond to make sure that Magic Carpet keeps being produced. A very, very big thank you to all of our patrons for making this all possible. We would not be able to do this without you. So really, thank you. I feel really lucky that we get to make these episodes and live this life, and I am grateful for that every day. So thank you. All right, with that, we will see you next Friday for the rounding of Cape Caution and a truly spectacular discovery that might be, if you had to ask us what was a highlight of the entire season. Although I might answer Night Inlet, what we're going to see in next week's episode is Aladino's answer to that question. And it's a pretty close second for me. It's an amazing, amazing place. See you next Friday.